Brazil. A weekly show by Geisa Fernandes. Episode 3. Content, content, content. Just one of those days that change your life. November 27th, 2016. A Sunday it was. I remember it pretty well, for lots of reasons. I promise to tell you all those reasons in the next episodes, but today I would like to tell you about the importance of a lesson that you've probably heard a lot in your life already, just like I did, and that is, do things right. November 27th, 2016 was, so to speak, the day I was born as an indie artist to the web, or at least to YouTube. Fact is, I had my persona quite developed, I had a project mastered and all. By the way, another great story. Future episodes! Anyway, I had this project mastered and all, waiting to be released. But this time, I wanted to make things right. But I didn't know how to start. I had the impression that by the time I released my first solo CD back then, 2013, I had certainly given a very important step in my career as an indie artist. But this step was not enough. I knew that. But I didn't know how to make the next step. But right after leaving the studio, with this all mastered project, etc., I bumped into one of those Facebook ads. A webinar, a workshop, 100% online, 100% free. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know why, but this time I actually clicked on the picture. So I was redirected to one landing page and I started making this online course about self-production. And I thought, well, maybe it's not only a matter of the right step, but in which direction are you taking this step? Or even, is it the right path for you? These were my concerns at that time. Well, luckily, one of my concerns, even before, had been, whatever I would do for my career, I would do it, just right. I know that right, it's a very subjective concept, but I also think we all have a kind of golden list with the must and mustn'ts in our lives. I try to stick to my golden list, and that's why on my YouTube channel, that 6-year-old YouTube channel by then, I had about 7 followers, most of them previous college friends, and 3 or 4 videos, some live presentations, those I've been taking part in. Actually, the point of building a YouTube channel at that time, keeping the name Geisa Fernandes. It's a great name, I think you agree. So basically, I was just marking territory. Well, but then November 27th, 2016 arrived.
And what is so special about this date you keep repeating and repeating and repeating?
That's the day when the first registration of a samba was officially taken in Brazil. So we used to say that's the birth of samba in Brazil. Although we know that samba was a rhythm from the streets and therefore no one owns it. But the first guy who had the idea of collecting that lyrics that were quite spread around 19th century Rio de Janeiro and write them down, going to a studio place and making a recording with some musicians was Donga. D-O-N-G-A. And this guy, Donga, he's therefore considered, let's say, the father of samba in Brazil. The date of this happening? November 27th, 1916. So, it's been a year they've been celebrating the 100th anniversary of the birth of samba in Brazil, officially speaking, of course. All right, it's all very nice. We can all use some history here and then, but what does that to do with you? Well, remember I said my YouTube channel was a kind of half-empty garden, and one of those 3 or 4 videos I had was da-da-da-da, the best possible recording you can get of this very first samba recorded in Brazil. Aha, now I got you. And why that? Because a couple of years ago I bought this book about traditional sambas, the history of samba and everything. Along with the book, a CD with remastered copies of those original sambas. Well, November 27th, 2016, search engine Google made a homage to the first samba by producing a doodle for its Brazilian searches. So, during 24 hours, every Google searcher would see this tiny man dancing samba in front of an old-styled microphone. And by clicking on that doodle, you'd be automatically redirected to my YouTube channel. Ta-da! We're talking about 14 visits becoming 500,000 visits and 3 followers becoming over 2,500 followers. And I didn't even have videos. I don't know why these people trust me in the first place. But I did. And I felt I simply couldn't disappoint them. So I had to start producing content. I had to start to learn, or at least refresh, my very basic video editing skills in order to produce on a constant basis. It took me literally a complete night to answer each and everyone who had left a comment, and also to filter their spams, of course. Fact is, from that day on, I became an official YouTube partner, and I even got this very cool slash address. So youtube.com/Geisa Fernandes now belongs to me. How about that? Okay, you might be thinking, okay, so this was your great story? The day that changed your life? Well, I said, one of those days that changed our lives. For me, the trust of over 2,000 people on my work made me the push, the strength, the motivation to keep on producing content. Do you know the golden rule of real estate? Location, location, location. Change location for content. And, well, you get the picture. If you are one of those over 1,000 subscribers, thank you so much. And if you're not, no problem. I will leave the link to my YouTube channel on the description of this episode. The final treat today is my humble homage to Pelo Telefone, on the phone, the first samba officially registered in Brazil, and that 100 years later would change the directions of my career as an indie artist. Thank you so much for joining me on the 3rd episode. Till next week, and beijo!
Pelo telefone, samba carnavalesco, gravado por Baiano e o Corpo de Coro, para a Casa Edson, Rio de Janeiro. O chefe da folia pelo telefone manda me avisar que com alegria não se questione para se brincar. Ai, 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 é deixar mágoas pra trás, oh rapaz. Ai, 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 fica triste se é capaz de esperar. Ai, ai, é deixar mágoas pra trás, oh rapaz. Ai, 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 fica triste se é capaz de esperar. Tomara que tu apanhe, pra não tornar fazer isso. Tirar amores dos outros, depois fazer teu feitiço. Ai, se a rolinha, senhor, senhor, se embaraçou, senhor, senhor, é que a vizinha, senhor, senhor, nunca samou, senhor, senhor, porque este samba, senhor, se arrepiar, senhor, senhor, foi perna bamba, senhor, senhor, mas faz gozar, senhor, senhor. O peru me disse, se o morcego visse, não fazer tolice. Eu então saísse dessa esquisitice, me disse, não disse. A estátua de ideal triunfal. Ai, viva o nosso carnaval sem rival. A estátua de ideal triunfal. Viva o nosso carnaval sem rival. Se quem tira amor dos outros, por Deus fosse castigado, o mundo estava vazio e o inferno habitado. Queres ou não, vir pro cordão, é ser folião, de coração, porque este samba me arrepiar, dói perna bamba, vai gozar. Quem for bom de gosto, mostre-se disposto, não procure encosto. Tenha o riso posto, faça alegre rosto, nada de desgosto. Dança o samba com calor, meu amor. Pois quem dança não tem dor nem calor. Dança o samba com calor, meu amor. Pois quem dança não tem dor nem calor.
How to be Indie in Brazil. A weekly show by Geisa Fernandes.